I'm just going to kick things off. I've always loved this series, and it was such a great experience to see it out in live action and in this series. But I'm curious, were you guys familiar with the animated series, and was there an element of the animated series that you wanted to see in live action that maybe you haven't seen yet, or maybe has already been in the series?
Yeah, I'd never watched the show ever before.
Oh my god.
No, I'm very, very familiar with the show. Sorry, what was the second part of your question? I was
just thinking, do that so bad.
Yeah, I was like, this is the perfect opportunity. I've never seen the show. Sorry.
I'm curious, is there an aspect of the show that you were excited to see in live action?
Excited to see. We've been waiting so long for the VFX, and we also had just recently received the episodes to watch. So I think seeing like final cuts of bending scenes was such a cool experience. Like specifically water bending, we knew like that was a very important one for our series, and I think the way that it flows and with with the creatures and how it is involved in the environments that we're living and fighting, and it looks great.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. I grew up watching the show. And then when it came back on Netflix during COVID, rewatched it again. So it was really cool to be able to play it and being a fan of the show. And so one thing that I wanted to like see come into live action was just like more of the relationships of the characters, which I think is like a really fun dynamic. And that action, like that's something that is obviously like we incorporate so much in this live action adaptation from the animated series. And so when you're doing that with real people and real fighting and all that stuff, it's just it's stylized a different way just because everything is more real. So it was really cool to see that. Like I obviously don't do too much of that, but getting to spectate you guys do all that stuff was really cool for me.
Looking at us like yelling and going like this.
That was funny. Other. Yeah. You had like he had like an Iron Man like thing in his palm.
Yeah.
So it would glow for the fire.
VFX.
Yeah, to help VFX.
Whenever
so he'd just be like side swipe, like do something really cool and just end with like it's like a taped up like Iron Man little button.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I mean, that sounds amazing, and also probably required a lot of imagination on your guys' part.
For sure.
I don't know how you do that without, while keeping a straight face at all. So these characters, I mean, they're young, but they have like a really heavy burden on their shoulders and really strong motivations. What do you think for you guys individually for your characters is a weakness that you think holds them back? But then also, is there strength that helps them overcome those weaknesses?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Sakano is a little bit of a freeloader. He's not doing too much. He's riding along with Appa. He's hanging out. But I think one of his maybe his weaknesses would be like not wanting to be vulnerable at all, like just covering it all up with humor. And what was the second part? I'm sorry.
And is there strength that you think help overcome that?
Yeah, I think the strength with him is like he gets to like he has to older brother a little bit these guys just because they're younger. Like the only thing he's got is the age, so he's kind of like emotionally, I feel like he's like being protected by them bending wise, but he's emotionally there for them. So could be cool to like. I think that's his strength is like, even though he's like covering it up with humor, he's still like getting to be strong for the kids.
Well, he tries his best.
He tries his best. That's for sure.
He tries his best.
I think for me, or for Katara's character, I feel like the loss of her mother at such a young age was like a huge part in her like structure confidence, and like that was something that held her back for a while. And I feel like there is a moment going along the series where there is a shift in that, and she starts to see it in a new light, and it like unlocks this like flow of energy, and she just like is able to overcome that and master waterbending.
I feel like being so young or just being such a child can just be such like a disadvantage and an advantage at the same time. Like he's very immature, but at the same time, it helps him because, well, not many adults would be like, oh, I need my friends to help me. My friends. But Aang can do it, and he makes it work to his advantage. Like, he has you guys, and, well, it's just such a big help.
And me.
You're not helping. Bro.
Yeah. You're part of the problem, bro.
I got a guy with, like, horrible daddy issues chasing me down.
Someone play it. I'm the problem. It's me right now. Man, right here. This guy.
I'm the problem.
Then Dallas, do you have a strength and the weakness?
I think Zuko has more weaknesses than strengths. His single-mindedness, I think, and his stubbornness definitely aren't helping him through his journey. However, he is very lucky to have Uncle Iroh's love and support. I think their little one-on-one talks in his room are essential, because in those really stressful moments, you kind of see I guess a little flicker of Uncle Iroh's words in Zuko's head when he's in those scenes. So I thought, yeah.
And in this series, I mean, there's a lot of physicality to these roles, not only when it comes to bending, but also just combat in general. This is a very kinetic series. Is there something did you guys have to train for this, and how extensive was the training going into it?
So we did a boot camp a month or two before we started filming. So we were in training every day, trying to get our moves down, going over our specific fighting styles, and just really trying to get our bodies ready for all the action that we had to do. But it was really a really cool experience. I mean, I'd never gone through anything like that before, just because I'm not as well versed in martial arts like these guys, because they didn't really have to even do all that, because they're just world champion,
They're better than me,
doing flips in the corner, But yeah.
Well, that's amazing. I can't wait for you guys to see the show in its full special effects glory, because I've seen some of it and it looks so great. I want to thank you guys for speaking with me, and I can't wait for people to watch this show.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to
Thanks so
meet
much.
you. Have a good one.